Hello, everyone. I'm Kristen.
And I'm Rachel.
And this is So I'm Watching The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Season 4. My bad. We've been doing so many Season 1s lately.
Yeah.
Season 4, Episode 2, Billy Jones and the Orgy Lamps. Love it. These titles.
Yes, so great.
It. Okay, so I think I liked this episode even better than the premiere.
I absolutely did.
Yeah, it was so fun. Midge is in like a way better place emotionally for the moment, at least.
Very short-lived moment, but we're
you know,
we kind of hit a snag there. You know, kind of like a little bit past the beginning.
She got a little past it by the time she and Susie are going out.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not over.
Yeah,
that's definitely still gonna be going on for the season. But there was like, yeah, we also like kind of got rid of a handful of things. Like the Susie gambling thing is,
I love it. We're just done. We're just done with it.
Unless she does it again. I still feel like at some point she paid back Joel, so there's really no reason. It's gonna come out.
It's
gonna come out to Midge, but I feel like I honestly kind of think that Midge would think it was funny that she burned down her mom's house in order to like facilitate.
Yeah, like I feel like
making it right.
Yeah, she's done so many things to go above and beyond to fix it. I feel like she can't. I mean, she could be a little mad, but
yeah,
I think Susie got scared enough.
I hope so.
The whole thing that I think it scared her straight.
I don't. Midge is not making any money right now yet again, so we'll have to see. But I do sort of feel like it's possible that Susie will just let Joel keep taking care of the money.
Yeah.
Which is not the worst idea. He's good with money.
No, but we even started with Midge calling all of the store, like the pharmacist, the butcher, the dairy people, all of that, and like upping her credit. I mean, Girlie was hustling.
She was hustling. It did not apparently work, at least with the milk.
Well,
people.
She just, because she's on her own, she's realizing it's a fucking man's world. And as she said to Esther,
all it does is call to mind that part of The Great Gatsby to me.
Oh,
where Daisy finds out she's pregnant, or she has a little. When she found out she was pregnant, she was like, I hope she'll be a girl, and I hope she'll be a little fool, because that's like the only way.
A beautiful little fool.
It's just, that's all it makes me think of. Because that's the thing is, like, Midge is not a fool.
Nope.
And so she sees the injustice in a way that, like, even, like, Imogene doesn't see the injustice.
No, and
although she is going to secretarial school, so like she's doing something.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see a little bit more of that. But because Imogene doesn't have to fend for herself quite like Midge does, so she's not really feeling the
squeeze.
The chokehold that the patriarchy has on all of us.
Yeah, so we don't know about. I think the issue was with the dairy because the actual dairy guy wasn't there. It was just the delivery boy. But she spoke to like the owners of every other company. So they rest like the dry cleaning, the pharmacy, everything else might be fine. Regardless, she's like trying to stretch it so that she doesn't have to pay for anything until she can like hopefully get some money. But it's also, let's get it out of the way now so you can be done with it. You're very emotional. Abe
it's Pisces season, okay?
Abe started his new job at the newspaper.
Yes.
And he gave Midge his first paycheck, which was so cute. She like gets home from the club, which we'll talk about in a minute, where she went with Susie, and he is just like sitting on the floor in the living room drinking in her apartment, and they just have this like really beautiful talk about, you know, life and everything, and how like even though it's like almost no money, it like feels better than the money he was receiving before because he's doing something he actually gives a shit about.
And he says that the people at The Voice like him.
Yeah.
And Midge was like, well, everybody likes you, Papa. And he says, no, nobody liked me at Columbia. And so they were going back and forth and joking about how small the check was.
Yeah.
And so
she was like, we could get one egg. And he was like, seriously? She's like, maybe two. And he goes, well, we're not quite to an omelet, so we'll see.
So what really touched me, it was just because it's like kind of like what we've been working on, and then like the whole reason why I'm even fucking down here. Because I mean, not for nothing, I have said goodbye to a lot of opportunities to make money, but it was because I wanted to create and I wanted to make art and I wanted to do it with people who I like and who I know like me.
What?
I know, right? It's such a novel idea. But it was just a really, really touching moment, and they cheers to art.
Yeah.
And it just pinged a little spot in my heart right now, just because it's so important, because I think like collectively, especially millennials, I think we're figuring out like we don't have to do it like we've been doing it.
Oh yeah.
And you can actually enjoy what you're doing. You just don't have to slog along until you fucking die. And while it may not pay dividends now, like financially, it's going to pay dividends in your soul. And it's just a really beautiful moment.
We're at like a, I don't know, fulcrum, I guess, point on the like seesaw where it's like at a certain point, it's gonna tip this way.
Yeah.
Like all the way this way. Like right now we're kind of teetering and it's gonna go all the way this way. And so I definitely agree. It was really nice. And I also think these moments with Midge and Abe are too far between, because and I get it's a whole stereotypical thing. You know, he's sort of henpecked from all sides by these women that I feel like he didn't totally know what he was signing on for with Rose kind of a thing. And then he got like a like almost carbon copy, except for filthier version with Miriam.
And like whip smart. Too smart.
And so these moments where you realize that Abe likes her. Abe likes Midge. I think that's really important, because a lot of the times he just is so flustered. Like when they're taking the tour around the apartment.
My God. Have we done the kitchen yet? Have we done the kitchen yet? Have we done the bedroom? What are we doing? Have we done the bathroom?
I love it. It's so funny. And so, but I do like when the show does slow down into these moments that are really nice and really poignant. And because like Midge has had a couple moments like that with Rose, not too often, like before or after Paris in season 2. So it just is like, I really, really, really liked them together. And also, I mean, Tony Shalhoub is next level amazing.
Oh, I love
acting.
him.
And Rachel Brosnahan really shot out of nowhere with this show. She had done a couple things before, but like to have this character be so fully formed and still charming after this many seasons, like there's cracks, obviously we see, you know, everything, but I don't know. The two of them going head to head is like watching a masterclass. I love it.
And it was just such a calm moment for the both of them because they live so up here so much of the time. And I spoke about this a little bit last episode when she was doing like her super stream of consciousness comedy, where she looks and feels more in her body. Yeah. And she was both of them were very much in their body, very grounded to the floor. So it was just a really nice change of pace, because she very much, we got the like, talking thing where she's doing this and it like my body hurts for her because I feel like she's so touched. But so to have the other side of that, especially so close together, so you have the opposites in the same episode, it's just really, really nice to see. And the same with Tony Shalhoub. Yeah. So it's like a solve for like all of the like anxiety that happens really the rest of the episode.
So, okay, we can go back to the beginning. We open with Imogene and Midge getting her apartment back in order, all the stuff from storage getting put back in the apartment. She's going around getting the credit increased, doing all the stuff. The orgy lamps are actually
they are 100% amazing. Orgy lamps.
Yeah, but they're like amazing. Like I would have those orgy lamps for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of pieces of furniture in that house. Yeah. I'm like, give it to me.
But now it's like you have to get reproductions because actual mid-century furniture is like $100 million. So she puts everything back exactly the same way because like, well, the couch was built for the living room and like this and that and the other. And she's like, but the bedroom has to be different. And so it's like backwards and floating in the middle of the room. She's stubbing her toe. She's hitting her shin. It's comedy gold. Yeah. And Imogene is like, this is psychotic. What are you doing?
Because it 100% is. And I get it. Because she was like, you know, Joel left me in this room. Yeah. He did this over here, not over here. And it's like, I get it. Yeah. But just change the like color palette of the room,
or like change the sheets, or like buy a new bed frame. Or
yeah, there are ways to do it without living in a fucking nightmare factory of feng shui bullshit. So
by the end of the episode, she seems to be putting it to rights. So hopefully she'll have a functional bedroom in the next episode.
Yeah, because she has to be black and blue all over her legs. Down.
after that, she invites Abe and Rose over for dinner and to tell them that because she got the apartment back, she wants to offer them the like spare bedroom so that they can live in their building again. Super nice. Abe immediately says no. It's so dumb. It just is like, I don't know. It's so stupid.
It really is, because it's like, you guys hate Queens so much. Why are you
the Maisels.
Yes.
They don't like the Maisels.
They really don't. And Midge even says, they're nudists. You hate them. So it's like, I don't understand.
Is constantly walking around without pants
really,
on.
Yeah. Pants. I know it's TV and I know it's a character thing, but it's like, why are we doing this?
Yeah, why are we fighting about this?
Well, because I figured that was kind of like the idea.
Yeah.
I was confused that we were kind of still having this conversation.
Also, is this a 4-bedroom apartment? Because the kids have their own rooms, don't they?
They share.
The kids share?
Yeah.
Okay. Still.
I mean...
3-bedroom apartment?
God,
she can see the river.
Yeah, she said that, and I'm like, God, the rent on that place.
So that's like a Riverside Drive apartment.
Probably.
Because that's where Liz Lemon lives on 30 Rock, is like 160 Riverside Drive. Yeah. And I'm just like, are you serious? Like,
what's that like?
Yeah. What must that be like? It sounds amazing. So they finally relent. Obviously, we knew that.
But it's because they have to say that they were in a lawsuit. I guess. Okay. So
it's like a whole thing.
They explained that the reason why they were in Queens is because they had put a deposit down on an apartment, but there were some issues with it. So they were in a lawsuit with the landlord, and that they were living in Queens until that got wrapped up. And the court date was the very next day, and that they were going to win back the money for the deposit, and then they bought Midge's old apartment for her and for them. And Midge is like, so I can't even say that I bought my own fucking apartment?
Yeah.
And it's rightfully put out. I would be extremely put out.
Pissed, yeah. Especially if I were trying to do my parents a favor.
Exactly. Like, I'm trying to take care of you. Yeah. I worked hard to help you. And they're just like, oh, no. We can't do that.
Whatever.
Yeah, I just
Susie gets a call Susie goes to see Sophie first.
Can I have a nervous breakdown? I want to go live in a sanatorium. Because they look really nice.
Like a 1960s rich person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could deal with Irina screaming. That happens in that interaction. Yeah, you stop to hear it after a little while.
This Jane Lynch performance, I mean...
Staring off into space. Susie's right here. And then she's like, Sophie, oh, Susie, you came to see me.
And she's got her fucking butler there and Dawes, right?
Yeah, Dawes. Yeah.
It's unbelievable. So anyway, she goes there to get Sophie to sign a contract, or like a dissolution of a management contract thing. And she doesn't. She signs it Lucille fucking Ball. I don't really know what the point of that was, unless she's gonna have to like keep managing Sophie when she's like better.
I think that Sophie's just gonna continue to be a needle on her side.
Okay, because then she goes to see Harry, right? Harry Drake.
Yep.
And fucking David Paymer too.
I like that they're back being friendly,
like mostly friendly. Yeah,
and that he's wanting to help her.
Okay, first of all, biggest complaint of the episode: he threw away half a corn dog.
Yeah, trash.
Why? What's the point of that? Eat your whole corn dog. Ridiculous. Secondly, I think it's the fact that Susie also got burned by Sophie. And I think he's like, you've been punished.
Yeah.
We're fine. And
also, I tried to kill you or tried to have you killed.
Yeah. So basically, it's like, he basically is like, you need to diversify also. You can't put all your eggs in the Midge basket. You need more clients for sure. And like, I think that we won't have the same tension if Susie gets more clients because they won't be Sophie.
Right.
Midge will be fine as long as it's not Sophie.
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting. He's totally correct. She definitely needs to get more clients because otherwise, 10% of Midge's earnings until she gets to a place like, because Lenny Bruce doesn't even like make money.
No.
He's like a shock comic who does shows when he kind of feels like it.
Yeah. I mean, he was living in a like pay to stay motel in Miami.
Yeah, that's right. So it's going to take so long for Midge to be making enough money to support Susie.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I was kind of hoping that Midge was going to offer Susie a room in the apartment.
Oh, yeah.
Because she can't live in her apartment.
I mean, she can't. It's her apartment. Yeah, Jackie's name isn't on there.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, but remember they like did a little.
They bunked, but that other guy's in there too.
He sleeps in the shower.
Oh,
probably
weird. Super weird.
Yeah.
That was all really fun. I like the moment with Susie and Harry, it was really nice. They sat on his bench together and they just like had a nice talk about the business and everything. It was really good.
Well, and I like that he told Susie to just manage Midge.
Yeah.
You know, like, so, okay, comedians are insane. Manage her.
Yeah.
You know, get her ass back out there.
Yep.
She needs to be working. And if she doesn't like where she's working, tough. She has to do it if she wants to make money.
Yeah.
And
she gets there. Susie gets there with her at the end.
Yeah, she does.
Like, you have to play these places. Like, you have to get into the clubs that play because the alcohol. With the alcohol, because the Gaslight, even they do sell alcohol, but they don't pay.
I don't think they sell alcohol. I think it's a coffee shop. It's a coffee shop.
So it's like a cafe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then that's like the huge problem.
I think that's what they mean by like basket joints or whatever.
Okay.
So they probably pass around basket
for like tips.
Yeah, but if you make the money off of the alcohol, because I think they get tipped out from the drink or because you pay a cover. So you get, gotcha. And usually with the cover, it's a 2-drink minimum.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they go back to that one bar. She's played before, but I think she bombed there.
That was the one that they made her wait. And so she got up on the stage and was like smelly and had mustard on her dress. Yes. And then she like talked shit about all the guy comics that were there.
Well, they're bad. They deserve it.
Yeah.
So they
fucking
go back.
Bobby.
Okay, they go back there. Was that the one, the middle one, the Jewish one?
No, that was Noah something.
Yeah.
No, Bobby was like the owner.
Right. It was Noah something. You are correct about that. Noah Birnbaum.
There you go.
Okay. Because Midge was saying his punchlines at the exact time in the exact cadence. And she just is like, this is tired comedy about being Jewish. Nobody thinks this is like worth it. The audience was not laughing a lot. They were laughing at her.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
because at one point she takes out her compact and she was like, I'll just do it from behind.
Yeah.
And so you just see it like her eyes in the compact and she's just like delivering it.
Incredible.
Verbatim.
It's amazing. So she gets in real big trouble with Bobby and he like,
because Susie locked the next comic outside.
Yeah.
And so she went up in like the spare time that he had.
That was Billy Jones.
Yeah. And so Midge ran on stage and did his act.
Yep.
You know, the thing about my wife is, and she was like, I did it better and in heels.
Yeah.
And she's being dragged out and, you know, and everyone's clapping and laughing at her because it was fucking inspired. It was great.
And so she's been banned for life from this bar/club. Yeah, like literally whatever. And so that part was literally amazing. And then she gets arrested for prostitution in front of the club because
she's talking
like,
shit. She was like, hey, you want
$250.
Yeah.
And so she gets arrested. She's doing also a routine in the jail because she makes bail and she's like, hey, give me 1 more minute. I'm not done yet. And so she finishes up. It's all very good. They also, one of the other girls in jail gets bailed out at the same time and needs a ride. So they share a cab with her. This is actually amazing. I'm very interested to see where this goes going forward because they keep on thinking she's actually a prostitute and she's like, I'm not. And so they drop her off at this place, but she's kind of daffy. So they're like, okay, you're not, whatever. And so they get to the place and it's like a cabaret burlesque,
it's like a burlesque show. Mm-hmm.
And there is a comic there, but he's a dude and he's not doing very good. And there's barely anybody in the audience. And Midge has a brain smart.
Yep. And he is on stage saying that was his last night. He was retiring. Nobody asked him to stay, blah, blah, blah. And it's just all very like on her face. You could see it kind of like clicking.
And she goes to talk to Susie and we don't hear the conversation, but it's just sort of like,
Mm-hmm. And then Susie in the background is talking to one of the stagehands. Mm-hmm. Also, I really need everyone on this show, this is just a me thing, to remember that there's a thing called sightlines. When you are standing in the wings and you can see the audience, they can see you because she's absolutely like behind the curtain like hi. This. Like we can see this whole side of you in your hot pink dress.
I don't know that it matters. There's hardly anybody in this club.
It matters to me.
I know. You're such a musical theater kid.
I know, I really am.
What else?
Joel's mom.
I was like, who the fuck am I talking about?
Shirley's trying to set Joel up on a date with a very pregnant lady.
Like 9 months pregnant.
Yeah. And then he goes home and, you know, to May, and he's like, we have to tell my parents about us.
Yeah.
And May's just pretending to be asleep.
Yeah. And then Susie sneaks in And I was like, who's this? Because I didn't recognize the silhouette at first. I was like, oh my God, who snuck in? Because at first I was like, did Midge find out that? But Midge already knows about his girlfriend, so it's whatever. But it was Susie, and she got the insurance check, because Tessie has been actually having sex with Mr. B.
I'm obsessed. And he gave her a job.
Having full sex, gave her a job at the insurance company. She just has to blow him in the break room every once in a while. Tessie's living life, though.
Yeah, I mean, she hates her husband. This guy seems nice to her, and she's getting paid, so why the fuck not?
Do it.
She had a guy named Kyle bring her a lovely little cappuccino with some whipped cream. It just looks great.
Live your life, Tessie. I love it. So that was what Susie was doing, was bringing back the money. And Joel said a thing. He said, my wife's money.
And Susie said, ex-wife.
And he basically was like, I said what I said. And I think May was awake. So I don't know if that's going to come to anything.
Well, and then earlier in the episode, when Midge was on the phone with Susie having her breakdown, she said, maybe me and Joel will get married again. Could you imagine?
Okay, again, I don't want them to get back together until, 1, Midge fucks Lenny Bruce.
Yes, we need that.
2, it's the final season.
Yes.
It doesn't need to happen right now. It needs to happen. It's also, Midge needs to be successful.
I agree. She needs to be making her own money.
She needs to be able to pay for herself.
Yes.
It can't be because she needs Joel.
She needs to make enough money to completely buy that apartment from Moish.
Yeah.
And so it's hers, absolutely.
Outright, yeah.
Yes.
100%. Those 3 things. Fuck Lenny Bruce. Make your own money. I just it's what has to happen.
Listen, not for nothing. You've been really good about your predictions on things recently. So y'all heard it here first.
And because the money thing is the most important to me, because she has to want Joel back. She can't need Joel back. She has to want Joel back. But I'm down with it. It'll be fine.
Yeah. That's what I like him and May together, but I think it's going to come down to I think that May is going to realize the connection between Joel and Midge still, and I think there's also going to be a boyfriend versus family moment, and she's going to have to choose family.
I think there's also going to be a cultural moment with her parents and his parents. Like, imagine Shirley's face when she realizes Joel is dating a Chinese woman.
I'm not excited.
I'm not excited about that either. I just can't imagine Shirley being totally cool with it when she's trying to set him up with a 9 months pregnant woman.
I know. Who's a flautist.
I wonder if she brought her flout. Shirley said. Ridiculous.
It took me out.
Amazing.
Oh, goodness. The show's so good. I love it.
Love it to pieces. Oh, I did want to say, Gabe, I guess he's like the editor of The Village Voice. Abe's new boss.
Oh, yeah.
He was on Gilmore Girls. I loved him. I was like the only one because he was an obstacle to the Luke and Lorelai relationship.
Oh.
So she dated him for a while. His name was Digger. It was Jason, but his nickname was Digger. So I was super pumped to see him. His name's Chris Eichman. I just thumbs up. I really liked seeing him around. So Midge's kitchen got reorganized 3 times because Imogene put everything away first, and Rose was like, it's all too short. So Rose put it away too. And then Zelda was like rearranging it when Midge came home from the club, and she was like, I can't work in this. I don't know where anything is.
She said it's also too tall.
Yeah.
Rose was like the lollipop guild over here, and then Zelda's like, I don't need to be up, reaching up like a tree. Blah, blah. Yeah.
Very funny. Now I'm done. Don't let me keep talking. Shit, no. Shy Baldwin got engaged.
That's right.
And Midge saw it on the TV. Her face journey.
Yeah, that's what sent her into hysterics on top of having to fight with the milkman.
Yeah.
Screwing the milkman.
At that point, I feel like Shy Baldwin is going to come back into play at some point.
I kind of hope so, because I would like some closure.
I also I was thinking about it, and I was like, I want some people back from last season. Like, I want to see Liza Wheel again, the bass player.
Yep.
And like, I would love to see Sterling K. Brown again. He fit in so well with this show. He
really did.
I think being able to fly between Dan Fogelman and Amy Sherman Palladino is like impressive. Very impressive. Now I'm actually done. I'm not even going to look at it anymore. We are sorry that this is a little bit late. Our Friday nights are super packed, so we are going to try to get these out a little sooner next time. Our schedules are
We're busy, y'all. We are busy.
We're hustling. So if you want to help us hustle, you can do so here at these fine establishments. And then otherwise, just like and subscribe, and we will be back next week. Bye.
Bye.